Hello, Scott. My captain told me that she wanted to see you.
Is it related to you? Are you sick?
No. Not that I know of. She didn't tell me why.
Oh, well, should I take my pouch then? It's an important question. I should still take it though, but it's a little heavy. All right, I'm leaving without it.
I think I have a problem with going through your friend's things. I hope whatever you're looking for, it's worth it.
I'm trying to find information about the past. It's personal, okay?
Forget it. You couldn't understand. The officers, they aren't like us. They're above all that.
Hello, Mancer.
Hello? I found some of your father's letters.
I knew it. Tell me.
Most of the correspondence was friendly. They were very close. However, there was some tension between them over time. Some letters gloss over an expedition that they had done together, but what surprised me the most is when your father talks about a boy who was actually Scott's son. The last letter I found is a bit bizarre. I didn't really understand what he meant.
What did he mean? Do you remember?
Your dad begged Scott to stop the madness, warning that his wife's divorce was only the beginning of what he would lose if he couldn't face the truth. That it was too late for his son. He seemed to think Scott was on the verge of self-destruction.
It's true that it's rather mysterious. Scott, a son. Did you know?
No, he never told me about him. He obviously lost him. No doubt it's still a touchy subject.
We have to find out what this is all about. You have to ask his wife. Did my father really mean to interfere in his family drama? Maybe that's why he disappeared? Please, Zachariah!
I'm sorry to... You Angela Seeker, Scott's wife?
Ex-wife. What did the drunk do this time?
Nothing bad. He's a friend.
A friend? Right.
Just looking for some information on one of his friends, Mark, and your son.
Get out! Get out! What right do you have coming around digging up the past?
I'm not here to make you relive your pain, and I'm sorry if that's what it looks like, but I'm here for Mark's daughter. She sent me to try to figure out what happened to her father.
The poor girl. Hard enough to lose things when you're old enough to understand. She was just a girl when Mark disappeared. If resurrecting my pain can help ease hers. I loved our son. Scott did too. But he was never around. He was too lost in his research, lost in the dream of making the discovery of the century, of becoming a hero in abundance. Then, one day, our son started to show signs of mutation. When Scott noticed them, he lost it. He tried to hide him as he desperately dove back into his research to find a cure. With Scott gone all the time, I turned to Mark for a shoulder to cry on. Told him what was going on. So Mark tried to reason with Scott. But you could never reason with him. He always thought he knew more. Then our son was arrested and Scott and Mark just took off on some crazy expedition. Left me alone to deal with it all. So I filed for divorce. I was alone anyway. Then they came back, with nothing to show for all the damn time they were gone. But that didn't stop Scott. No, he just dove deeper into his work. And when Mark disappeared, I was sure it was because of another one of Scott's crazy missions. So tell Amelia, it was Scott's incessant need to be right, to be a hero, that undoubtedly cost her father his life, and that's it. That's all I know.
Hell, I can feel for what the old man's been through. I've known some folks myself who went through the same thing. Terrible thing. Breaks couples up, you know. Stress of never being able to have kids again.
Why never again?
Because they sterilize families who've had a mutant to make sure they don't have no more.
It's sad, but it's the only way to protect our own kind. At least now I understand why the professor's so...
Hello, Mancer.
Hello? I talked to Scott's ex-wife.
So, what did she say?
It's an awful story. Her son. Anyway, their son was struck by mutation. They took him away from them, of course, but it made Scott go crazy, and he was convinced that he could find a remedy. He asked for your father's help, so they left together, and were gone for a long time. Their exploration apparently didn't lead to anything concrete for the boy, and Scott descended into madness. And then one day, Mark left. His ex thinks that it was to bring back something useful for his research, and he never came back.
Shit. So my father's disappearance is related to that poor kid? It's really awful what they must have gone through. That explains a lot about why he's so crazy, and also why he behaves as if we were his kids. Thank you, Zach. That doesn't answer all my questions, far from it, but I have a better grasp of what happened. My father disappeared by helping his best friend, who was going through a rough patch and wanted to heal his child. It's a sad but beautiful story, isn't it? I'm gonna think about all this. Thank you again.
You're not like other girls, are you?
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Or are you being a wise ass?
You just don't talk like the rest.
I drive a Rover. I don't sit around sipping brightly colored drinks with brainiacs talking about the philosophies of life. You don't like the way I talk? Take a number and shove it up your educated ass. Take any one of them uppity shits and put them in a Rover, driving through sandstorms and seeing crazy shit every fucking day, and tell me they won't start talking a little more colorfully.
Easy, killer. I'm not judging you. Doesn't bother me. I was just saying.
You were a fucking rogue before, so unless the army made you soft and... Sorry. Just a little defensive. Hear that shit a lot.
Hey there, Fiorello. I found your clients. Told them you had their merch. They'll come pick it up as soon as they can.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, take this. As a token of my appreciation, it is not much for all you've done for me.
I found out where the girl's from.
That is great! Great news!
Not for her, unfortunately. Turns out she was part of a female gang trying to come together as a rival to Anton Rogue's outfit. Fight barely lasted a round, but clearly it annoyed Anton enough to have one of them kidnapped and tortured to send a message.
So what happens to her now?
You're sending her back to her friends. One of the girls will probably come get her. What's the point of trying to hold her accountable for things she doesn't even remember? And she's already suffered enough.
You surprise me, officer. Open-minded, compassionate. A rare breed in your field of work. Sad to think she will just return to the streets. But what's to be done? Here, take this, for all your trouble. I hate to risk exploiting your kindness, but if I may.
Go on.
Since our little misadventure the other day, I'm always looking over my shoulder, feeling that those mob types are breathing down my neck, fearing I'm less protected than I ought to be.
Then you want bodyguards.
In a sense, but understanding that no ordinary citizen of abundance would suffice, and that such a task for you would be an insult, I was thinking that perhaps a strong mutant might do the trick. Word goes around that one might be able to make such an acquisition from the mutant pen in the slums. If you might make the trip for me, I could compensate you for the price of both the mutant and your time.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Again, thank you.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always.
I've returned, Great Master, with the relic from the Aurora evacuation. It's a tablet filled with text, and I don't have a clue how to decipher it.
A glorious day. You have no idea what this means, Zachariah. The language is indeed difficult, and most no longer have the knowledge or ability to understand it. Most, but not me. I will begin deciphering immediately. We will know soon enough the vast wealth of secrets it holds. Sean was certainly right in his appraisal of you. Your worth has already proven to be infinitely valuable. A word of warning, Zachariah. Words spreading about your missions. Things you've been able to accomplish, filled with troubling details that imply you have a mole in your midst. If there is an ASC spy amongst your ranks, he will not only know our secret, but eventually share it back to his master. We will, in no uncertain terms, be lost. All will be lost. So take care. And take care of it. Sooner rather than later.
Thank you for the warning. I assure you, I will get to the root of this.
How are you, Zachariah?
I'm fine. And you?
Good. How may I be of service?
Hi. Heard you have some merch coming into the station. Need a hand with the delivery?
I might be a little brazen sometimes, but not enough to turn a lieutenant into my personal errand boy.
Except that the shipment holds weapons, and if Vori get their hands on the weapons, it's gonna mean more danger for my boys. So let me give you a hand, in case not helping out ends up biting.
Fair enough. Used to be Vori only dirtied the slums, but they're like an illness lately, spreading like a contagion. Merce needs to make it up to the station and head out to the front. Thanks for the help.
I gotta find that spy. Maybe I should ask around.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Have a moment, Captain?
Depends what you need it for.
Just want to get to know you better, Captain.
I don't usually mix business and pleasure, Lieutenant, but ask away and we'll see which questions I feel like answering.
You from Ophir?
Born and raised. Father was an officer. Mother was a quartermaster. And I've rarely ventured outside the walls but for a few scattered missions. Sound familiar, Lieutenant?
Very familiar, Captain. Except my parents weren't officers.
Which makes your rise even more noble, Lieutenant.
How was your rise to Captain earned?
Over time. But by no special action by me. Graduated as a corporal, and thanks to the brave men underneath me, their success in missions became mine in rank. No heroic feats to dazzle you with in stories. Just a lot of time and dedication that I'm proud of just the same.
What do you think of us?
Honestly, Lieutenant? I'm not quite sure yet. You Technomancers are new to me. Undoubtedly special, and capable of feats my other units couldn't dream of accomplishing, but time will tell. That said, I've been quite impressed. I thought it was the definition of insanity to send you and so few of your men on some of those missions. Missions I would have anticipated needing 10 times the manpower for. So far, you've proven me wrong. A rare feat in itself. So even though it's taking some time getting used to, I couldn't be happier you're one of my troops.
Can I ask about your relationship with ASC?
Tread carefully, Lieutenant. One might start to wonder the purpose of your questions. But here's my answer. We're all forced to work with them, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Too much power too quickly leads to arrogance. They're brash and too quick to act. And quite frankly, As they've risen in power, it's no coincidence that the dissenters, deviants, and rebels have risen in numbers. They're a great source of intel, however they get it. I sleep better at night not knowing the means. But I've always thought the army was strength enough, that the ASC was overkill. I trust you won't repeat anything I've said, Lieutenant. I'd hate for both of us to find ourselves enemies of the state over a little frank conversation.
My lips are sealed, Captain, and I appreciate your candor and trust, more than you know. Everything's clean in here. Looks just like the captain's work. Nothing that implies she's working with the ASC.
Lieutenant?
I want to know my men better. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, great. Show and tell. Yay.
What do you do when you're off duty?
Nothing special. See my folks, I guess. They ain't getting any younger, so... And I give most of my paycheck to them, because I'm the only one they got left. Sister died. And I ain't married, so... When I ain't with them, I'm at the bar, drowning the shitstorm that my life's become. Not exactly a picture-perfect life, but it's mine. And hell, I get paid enough to help them out and buy my own drinks, so... What's there to complain about?
What do you think about Jeffrey Hunter?
He's a village idiot who thinks he can brown-nose his way to a promotion. Fucking reject. And no, he ain't my friend, if you haven't pieced that together.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Seems you'd rather be that way anyway.
Hey, Lieutenant. So nice to take a break, right? Wonder if I should go out. Lieutenant, sorry to bug you, but I gotta talk to you about something. Look, Lieutenant, maybe it's just because I'm not used to life in the city, but...
Cut to the point, soldier.
I think we're being tailed, sir. I think someone's been watching us, but I don't know why.
Alright. Any ideas how to figure out who it is?
Hell yeah. I ain't no hunter for nothing, sir. I'd say we could leave from, say, the barracks or something and head towards the exchange. But, you know, act casual like it's just another day. We just treat it like we're out for a walk. Then, once we know we're being followed, we lead him to a trap down a dead-end road. And pow! You've got him. Or her. Whoever it is.
That's one way to go. Alright. Why not? Let's try it. See what happens. Have a second to talk?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. Like, just you and me, or...?
Yeah, just you and me. I like to know my men.
Wow, that's... yeah, that'd be a huge honor, Lieutenant.
So what's your life like when you're not on duty?
Tell you the truth, Lieutenant, not much to tell. I try to visit the city, make some friends, you know, because I don't really know too many folks yet. And my whole family's back in Greenhope, which is kind of too far to travel for my leave. And, oh yeah, there's also, you know, I try to still do some hunting. Though there's not much more than small critters in the underworks. Not a great hobby for the city.
You have a good childhood?
Oh yeah, you know it, Lieutenant. Really nice growing up, running around in the fields. Father gave me a crossbow, and I spent my time helping the farmers shoot critters hurting their crops. They were good times, Lieutenant, but everybody's got to grow up and move on. There was a lot of hunters in Greenhope, too. Plus, I always dreamed of being a soldier. Mostly, though, because there was a girl back home who loved men in uniform, so... Off I went to the big city to join up, And you know, since I was a sharpshooter, they signed me up and sent me here. Still not used to it. All the buildings, all the folks, all the concrete. But I'm happy though.
Feels like a Green Hope souvenir stand. Kid must be missing home. Unless being messy's a crime, though. Doesn't look like he's doing anything wrong. I can't open it without a code.
Lieutenant?
How old are you?
The fuck does it matter to you? Older than you, though. And the rest you can find in my file. Cool, moving on.
I want to know about your childhood.
You really want to know about my childhood? Sure, yeah, why not? My dad was never around. He was either on the front or doing drills. My mother, though, she was stationed here in Ophir. So we lived in a guard outpost in the slums where she worked. Never expected to make more of myself than become a soldier. I fought a lot as a kid. Had my share of girls. But home life was pretty strict, so I tried to toe the line. Mostly because when I fucked up, I never got off easy.
So when'd you join?
5 years ago. Time fucking flies, don't it? It was in 126. My parents were beaming with pride. Pride that's faded when, after all this time, I'm still just a fucking private.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, all Aurora tunnels were destroyed. If they're gonna get back into the city, they'll have to come up with another way.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, Lieutenant. Find Ryan and get your pay. It was well earned.
Mutants are back to work, Captain.
Well done, Lieutenant. Now go see Ryan and get paid. Colonel Ian Mancer came by looking for you. Hope this isn't going to be a habit, Lieutenant. His problems aren't yours anymore. You're part of my unit now. We clear?
Of course. I'll go see him on my own time, not yours, Captain. Hi.
Lieutenant, out.
Captain Eliza told me to come find you for my pay. How much do you know about what's going on in the barracks?
Not much, and not really interested. I'm just a quartermaster, here to grease your wheels when they get rusty, not eavesdrop or gossip. Why are you asking? What are you looking to know?
What have you heard about my captain?
If you're looking for me to dish dirt, Lieutenant, you're barking up the wrong tree. She may be a woman, but this army could use more officers like her. She'd put herself in front of a bullet for her men. The army's her church. It's sacred to her. And she will and has come to blows with anyone or anything that threatens to tarnish its image. Word is, she's got one hell of a right hook.
What do you know about Dave Ward?
Quiet, brooding, asshole type. Not a talker, which is fine by me because he's not one I want to talk to.
What about Jeffrey?
I don't want to talk shit about anyone, not my style. But that boy's only barely sharper than a spoon.
Must be a pic of his parents. And his damn notes. Bastard's got my whole schedule in here. And the names of every single person we saw together. Must have been Dave keeping tabs on me the whole time. Never would have believed it. Guess if you could spot them, though, they wouldn't be so damn powerful.
Lieutenant?
I know you're a drinking man, so what do you say we go grab one together?
Looks like it's my lucky day. Sure, why the hell not? Lead the way.